Catholic Moments, episode 170. Welcome back, and the Mighty Max.
Blooming, finding joy in the journey and hope in the heaven yet to come. Blooming.
Hello and welcome to Catholic Moments. And now, here's your host and my mom, Lisa Hendy.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to an episode of the Long Lost Catholic Moments podcast, the podcast from CatholicMom.com, where we talk about all things faith, family, and fun from a Catholic perspective. And this is Lisa Hendy, the founder and editor of CatholicMom.com, the chief mom and bottle washer over at CatholicMom.com, welcoming you back to an episode. I'm so sorry for long-term listeners that it's been such a long time since we had a show. I have some good excuses, but I'll spare you all my excuses and just tell you welcome. I'm so happy this week to have an interview with two fantastic ladies related to the great new movie Mighty Max is being released this weekend, and so we've come out of the mothballs in support of the Mighty Max to share that interview with you and to bring you up to date about some news and information that's going on over at CatholicMom.com as well. So longtime listeners will know that I've been working on a book for the last several months, and that book, I'm happy to announce, launched yesterday, a book of saints for Catholic moms, 52 companions for your heart, mind, body, and soul. And if you head over to CatholicMom.com, you can see the trailer for the book, and I'll have some other videos up as well, fun things that have been happening the last couple weeks in release of the book. And boy, I have to say that it's just been a whirlwind, and the next couple weeks are going to be as well. And I thank everybody for their tremendous support of the book. It's available at your local Catholic retailers, and we always do ask that you reach out to them, or if you want to get it online, you can get it, of course, at Amazon or Barnes & Noble, Catholic Company, or Aquinas and more. And we thank them for their support of the book as well. The website continues to grow by leaps and bounds, and we've welcomed at least 2 or 3 new columnists each month for the last several months. So we're well over our 130 columnists that we've had at the website. Those are moms and dads and single folks and all kinds of great people who share their writing. So we invite you to come on over to CatholicMom.com for some great resources. This week, I have to say, we're having a great feature, which is some blog post by Dr. Sri, who has written a great book on the new translation of the Mass. He's writing a 6-day series for us, and it really stems from his great book, A Biblical Walk Through the Mass, and sort of walks through the changes step by step. So if you haven't been over to CatholicMom.com lately, I invite you to visit that and to enter our contests and just to check in with all the great things that are going on over there. And we also, of course, have our wonderful Catholic class activities for you, for your kids, for your religious ed classroom, all based on the liturgy of the Word on the Sunday Mass. So coloring pages, word search puzzles, crossword puzzles, all kinds of great stuff. So that's what's happening at CatholicMom.com. I've told you about my personal life, which is pretty much involved with launching this book and traveling the country. Got back from a trip to Minnesota last weekend, and strangely, I'm headed back to Minnesota tomorrow for a speaking engagement in the Archdiocese of Minneapolis-St. Paul. I'm going to be meeting up with my good friend Matthew Warner of Flocknote and Twitter fame, and Matt and I will be speaking with some other great Catholic folks over there. So I think I'm going to bring my digital recorder along and see if I can get an interview with the very famed Lino Rulli, who will be presenting as well. And I'll hope to share that with you next week. He's got a new book out called Sinner, so I'm sure he'll be happy to talk about that. And let's see what else is going on. Writing, speaking. Oh yeah, kids. Eric has started his sophomore year over at Harvard. Adam is a junior this year in high school, so we're getting ready for fun things like the PSAT and lots of homework and all that great stuff. And my work over at faithandfamilylive.com continues as well. While this podcast has been on hiatus, the Faith and Family podcast has been regularly recording every week, and you can find that over at faithandfamilylive.com. And it's basically a chat between three moms every week. So if you like sitting around the kitchen table drinking coffee and chatting with chicks, I think you'll love the Faith and Family Livecast. So without any further ado, now I'm going to share with you the interview that I recorded yesterday. This is with two of the key players in the Mighty Max film, and I'm so happy to share that film to let you know a little bit more about it and to encourage you to take your family out to see it this week. So here it is, my interview with the Mighty Max.
In 1971, Kathy Rush was a woman ahead of her time.
I got a destination.
I only knew a few things about the college. It was all girls. Their basketball team wasn't very good. And the school was founded and run by the nuns.
We're going off the team, right? Why? So we can continue to get crushed by all the bigger schools? We're in.
Are you suggesting that our girls will become athletes?
If they want to win, yes.
I'll be satisfied if you just use these activities to suppress their hormones.
She already has a husband. Why would she want to work? We know she's married to, right?
Ed Rush, the NBA rep.
She had the faith to dream big.
Girls' locker room?
Right through there, a door marked ladies' room.
And the passion to change lives.
1, 2, 3, team.
Fight for it.
This is so unladylike.
But when the odds were stacked against her,
Your entire team broke curfew last night.
she got a little help from some new friends.
Watch the pick and roll. See your man and the ball. Find him and box out. BICTORY.
Carla Gugino, David Boreanaz, and Academy Award winner Ellen Burstyn, based on a true story where sometimes
For every team that thought they never had a chance.
when you believe in a dream,
Thought dreams are only for rich kids.
Now dreams are for everybody. But you have to believe it.
miracles happen.
Tiny Immaculata College has gone to the finals.
This is what we have been working for all year.
The Mighty Max.
Don't you get hot in these things?
It ain't easy, sister.
Today, I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity to share conversation with two key players in the wonderful new movie, The Mighty Max. Today, we're joined by Katie Hayek, who plays Trish Sharkey in the film, and by the real life Teresa Grentz, three-time national champ and current vice president for University Advancement at Immaculata. And ladies, I have to tell you up front, I love the film, so I'm a real fan, and it's just a real joy to have time with you today. Great. Well, let's start off with Teresa. You lived through this, and I'm just wondering what it feels like to see your college years and all these emotional experiences that you went through played out in this film. Was it kind of the realization of a dream for you, and how is it to watch the film now that it's finished?
Well, Lisa, it's interesting in the fact that I think that Tim Chambers did a great job with his directing and production. And I think the actresses and Katie and her teammates were terrific in how they portrayed it. And I think everyone, they did a really great job of the whole thing. But you ask, is it portraying our college years? Actually, I'm glad some of those things didn't hit the film. But, you know, the story is the story, and then there's the movie. What's the movie about? And I think when you watch it, people like it for different reasons. Mm-hmm. They like it because it relates to where their life is right now, and how can they take this really unbelievable story and take bits and pieces of it and put it in their daily life and make their life a better situation. And I think that's what it really is all about.
So, Katie, first of all, I have to say I'm a Notre Dame alum, so I'm going to try to overlook the fact that you went to University of Miami, which is one of our rivals. But I want to ask you, as a college basketball player yourself, and then an actress now that you're graduated, what was it like to get the phone call, and to be part of this movie?
Well, having grown up playing basketball since the third grade, and then fortunately being able to play in college, so that's my whole life there, playing basketball, and always performing when I was younger, and majoring in theater in college, but never being able to be in the theater conservatory or in those college plays just because basketball took such precedence over it. It was beyond a dream come true to be able to, first of all, be booked in a role in this type of movie, but it being a basketball movie. So to have both of my passions combined at once as one of my first big projects, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Were you at all familiar with the story? I know this is probably ancient history for you, the real life story of the Mighty Max and Immaculata. Did you know about it, or did you have to go do some research about it when you found out you were going to be playing the part?
I mean, not so ancient, but I think it had to do with the fact that it was, a few years before I was born, but I lived in the suburbs, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So when I was in high school, obviously there were some other schools that I was following, but right when I heard about the audition, I immediately was doing my research, and I knew about Teresa way before I even met her, and I was definitely learning about the story of Kathy Rush and just the whole thing. And then we had about a 6-month wait until they casted the coach, Carly Gugino. So I had all that time to continue to just learn more and more and more about it. It wasn't like an overnight thing. So I did learn about it quickly.
And Teresa, I do believe I might have just called you ancient. I'm so sorry.
And that's better than calling me a pioneer.
Yeah, well, let's harken back to that moment of those national championships, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts on how the progression of women's athletics and where the state of it is now as compared to when you played back in your college years.
Well, Lisa, here's the thing. It was 40 years ago, and we did wear different uniforms and different types of sneakers, and we didn't have per diem, and we didn't have a plane that took us where we were headed. We didn't have strength training programs, study programs. But the same thing, what is constant and what remains constant is that there's the love of the game. And we love the game. And we truly, really respected and admired each other. And I've talked earlier today about virtuous friendships. That's what that team was all about. That being around each other, we became better people because you didn't want to disappoint each other. You went to practice. Here was this brand spanking young, really snazzy coach in Kathy Rush. She was married to an NBA official, and she was looking for something to do, really, and came over. She was very intelligent, very organized, much ahead of her time, and really showed us that, you know what, girls, you can have it both ways. You can have a family and you can have a career, and we got to see that up front and personal. But the whole thing, it's so unbelievable. We should have never won. We should never have gone anywhere, but we did. And here it is, 40 years later, they're doing a movie. People are excited about it. Lisa, you saw it, and you announced, ladies, I love the film. Well, you love the film. Why did you love the film? There were things you took out of that I'm sure you're using in your daily life now, not what we did then. It's really not about us. It's really about people today and finding something wholesome and finding something they can reach onto and hold onto. And Katie and her teammates did a great job of portraying the situation.
So, Katie, for you, having been part of this and, knowing what you took away from it, what do you hope that young women out there, particularly who are going to see the film, and even younger girls, what kind of message do you hope they get from watching it and experiencing it with their families?
I think, and I'll continue to say this just because I think it rings so true, with being on both sides of the basketball world, for lack of a better term. I think being able to live through this movie vicariously through these, the real women who accomplished these amazing goals. I just think having had the opportunity to play where I did and, being able to experience the perks of playing on that type of level, and then just seeing where like Teresa says, the pioneers started it all, and they were just catalysts for women's basketball, and just seeing how far we've grown, but it had to start somewhere. So I was so excited and honored to be part and privileged to be part of that type of story.
And what do you think about
how was it to play in those skirts as opposed to what you're used to playing in?
Well, it's kind of funny because most people think that we were in complete agony, but we felt it was so easy to play in. I mean, it's a bit tighter up top around your shoulders with the blouses that we played in, but with the skirt, we loved it.
Oh, really?
When we would get hot, we would just span them. Yeah, no, we really had a good time. I think where we had some struggles on some long shooting days were with the Chuck Taylors, and we had to tape our ankles underneath, and we had some blisters. But I think the tunics that we wore we were absolutely fine with.
Well, that's awesome. Teresa, I'm wondering what the university thinks of the film, and you have an official capacity with Immaculata, and I mean I would hope that this will be a huge boost to a great institution. What's the buzz around campus?
Well, everyone's very, very excited. And what I really enjoyed, Lisa, were the students. About 2 years ago, Tim Chambers and Pat Croce came to campus. It was Spirit Week in the fall. And they showed a clip, it was maybe 5-6 minutes, and to the present student body. And I thought, well, these kids are just going to love this. As it turns out, when the projector ended, they were like, "Where's the rest of it? We want to know what happened." And they really took ownership immediately, and it was really eye-opening for me, Lisa, because I said, "Wow, they are very excited about it. It's their university." And again, it's a timeless piece. The fact that it's 40 years ago is just the number. This university, Immaculata, I think, will receive tremendous awareness from it. The scenes on campus are right there on campus. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a very, very fine academic institution, liberal arts school that has both master and doctoral degrees, which people are not aware of. It has a Carnegie rating. And, I think this is a chance. You went to Notre Dame, Our Lady's School, Our Lady's University, but this is the one out here in the East. So I think she's looking out for her school as well a little bit here.
Well, I guess we can share Our Lady with Immaculata.
Dome to dome, we can be domers.
Well, I want to give you, Teresa, the chance to let everybody out there who'd like to know more about the real Immaculata, where can they find it on the web? www.immaculata.edu, I think is just and they'll be able to go there. The site takes them right in. They've redone the site again, Lisa, to make it more manageable with less steps, and they can go through both the undergraduate school, the continuing learning school, which has been, again, the Sister Servants of the Immaculate Heart of Mary saw that there was a need. They met the need, and then moved forward, and then there's the doctoral program. And Lisa, you'd be very happy to know that I was just at Notre Dame about 2 weeks ago with the former president of Immaculata, Sister Marion William, and she and I were both speaking out there, and we had the opportunity to see the religious exhibit of the sisters of all the different orders in the country, and it was so amazing because what those women were about were needs, meeting the needs of people. And there's a great saying that I use: challenges create needs, needs create deeds. And I really do believe that the religious orders, those marvelous women, did that, and it's a great tribute to them. So I salute Notre Dame for having that exhibition. Well, I love that too, and I do think that one of my favorite components of this film, and I have so many friends who are religious sisters, and I think that the Mighty Max goes a long way towards humanizing sisters for people who maybe aren't Catholic or maybe haven't had exposure to a religious sister and have only the image of sort of that caricature of the nun that we hear about. So I love that aspect of the film.
And that's unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah, the picture, the scene of those two, of Marley and Carla in the airport, and then when Carla comes into the picture and she is now dressed in the habit, and she's Sister Catherine of Atlantic City. I think that they're two beautiful women that really portrayed their passions, and it just so happened that they were wearing a habit.
Yeah, well, we thank all those who are serving at Immaculata who have over the years. And I want to ask Katie my last question, which is how families who want to see more films like this can get behind the Mighty Macs and why that's important.
I guess the thing to take away with it is it's not a movie just for women or just for girls. One of the ongoing themes with this movie is that it's about the equality of dreams. And just to be able to, I'm not a parent, but from Q&As and from what Tim has said and from what a lot of people have said in feedback is they're so happy to be able to take anybody in their family to see this movie. They could take their 92-year-old mother or their 5-year-old kid. And it's so gratifying to know that everyone can appreciate it and everybody can take something away from it. And just it's so inspiring and motivational as far as wanting to do what you want to do. I read a woman's post on the Mighty Mac page, and she said, I've been out of coaching for years, and I've always wanted to go back to it. And she was like a 45-year-old woman, and she's like, after seeing this movie, I'm lining up my getting my resume together and wanting to pursue some jobs for coaching. And I just think that's so cool. And no matter how you're affected by it, I still think it's just an enjoyable family film. And Tim wanted to make a movie that he could bring his sons to and not feel uncomfortable. So I'm just completely happy to be part of something that'll be so memorable for a lot of people.
Well, we're happy to have had the time with you today. I thank both of you for a great movie, for your part in it. I hope you'll pass that along to your fellow cast members and to all that were involved in the creation of it. We're going to get the word out, and we want more movies like this that are great and uplifting, and I'm inspired. So I just thank both of you for your time today and for the great work that you're doing.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Well, thanks again to Katie and Teresa. This weekend is the opening of the Mighty Macs. We'll have information for you on how you can learn more about the movie over at CatholicMom.com at the podcast post. And we thank our friends at the Maximus Group for facilitating that conversation. It's just really so fun to be able to share movies like this that are so great and uplifting. Rated G, something you could take your whole family to, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I have to say that I got to watch the film over at the Catholic New Media Conference, which was held a couple weekends ago, with friends and with popcorn and candy and, good times. And it was really an enjoyable experience. And I know you're going to have fun watching this with your family as well. Well, I am going to let you go and get back to whatever it is that you're busy with this week. I do want to thank you again for your patience while I was away from podcasting. I do hope to make this a more regular return to podcasting, but I hope you'll bear with me in the weeks ahead as we get ready to again launch a Book of Saints for Catholic moms. And you'll be seeing me crop up in different places around the web. Today I had the fantastic experience of doing a radio interview with our friends Greg and Jennifer Willits of the Catholics Next Door. Many of our longtime podcast friends will know them from their great years with the Rosary Army at rosaryarmy.com and the Rosary Army podcast. But what a treat to spend time with them today. And please join me in praying for Greg and Jennifer. They're going through a few difficulties in their pregnancy. They had a very big scare, and things are looking good, but we ask for your prayers for little baby Willits and for everybody else out there who's pregnant as well. And for all those who have sent in prayer intentions, please know that I pray regularly for all of you, and we invite you to do that. You can reach me anytime through my email, which is lisa@catholicmom.com, or just come on over to catholicmom.com and leave a comment in the podcast notes, and we'll be happy to share it here. So until next week, I wish you and yours all the best. Please, again, keep us in your prayers, and God bless. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
SQPN, leading the way in Catholic new media.